The sun was high, but the dump site was dark. It was the kind of place nobody wanted to visit. Old plastic bags blew around like ghosts, metal scraps shined weakly under the light, and the ground was rough and uneven. People said only lost things ended up here. But today, something more terrible was lost. A black maid, dressed in her ash and white uniform, came running across the piles of trash. Her yellow cleaning gloves were still on her hands. She had been searching for hours, her heart beating fast, her legs shaking. She had prayed, cried, shouted, but she did not stop, because she loved them. When she reached the center of the dump site, she suddenly froze. Her eyes widened, her hands flew to her head, her whole body trembled. There, lying helplessly on the dirty ground, was her boss, a white woman, a millionaire known for her kindness, generosity, and gentle voice. The woman's expensive dress was torn and dusty. Her hair was messy. Her face was pale like someone who had fought too hard for too long. And beside her, the maid saw something that broke her heart completely. A tiny 3-year-old girl in a bright pink dress, crying so loudly her whole body shook. Her cheeks were red. Her hair was tangled. Her hands were holding her mother's arm as if she was trying to pull her back to life. "Mommy, Mommy, wake up!" the child sobbed. "Please, Mommy." The maid fell to her knees. Tears poured from her eyes. "Dear God, what did they do to you?" she whispered, her voice breaking. She crawled forward, gathered the little girl into her arms, and held her tight. The child cried into her uniform. The millionaire woman opened her eyes slowly. Pain filled them. They left us here," she whispered. "I tried to protect her." The maid grabbed her hand. "Ma'am, you're not alone anymore," she said firmly. "I will get you out. I promise." And in that terrible place, hope lit up like a small flame. The maid held the little girl close, feeling her tiny body shake with fear. The bright pink dress was dirty, torn a little at the bottom, and covered with dust from the dump site. The child kept crying into the maid's shoulder, calling softly, "Mommy, Mommy." The maid gently brushed the girl's hair. "It's okay, Lily. I'm here now," she whispered. But inside, nothing felt okay. She looked at the millionaire woman again, weak, tired, and barely able to keep her eyes open. The woman tried to sit up, but her arms trembled. "Don't move too much, ma'am," the maid begged softly. "You need your strength." The woman swallowed hard, her voice shaking. "They wanted my money. They wanted everything." She pointed weakly toward the far end of the dump site. "They brought us here last night. They said nobody would find us." The maid clenched her teeth, her heart burning. "But I found you," she said. "No matter where they took you, I was never going to stop searching." Little Lily lifted her head, wiping her tears with her small hands. "Auntie June," she whispered, calling the maid by her name. "They pushed Mommy. They hurt her. And they told me not to cry. But I cried. I cried a lot." The maid hugged her tighter, feeling the girl's pain like a knife in her own heart. "Lily, baby, you did nothing wrong," she said gently. "You were very brave." The woman reached out her weak hand toward them. "I told them not to touch my daughter," she whispered. "I begged them. I said they could take anything. The car, the jewelry, the money, but not my little girl." "And they left you both here," June said, her voice breaking. The millionaire nodded slowly. "They said, no one cares about people who disappear." June shook her head. "That's a lie. I care. I found you, and I'm not letting anything happen to you two again." Slowly, she lifted the woman's arm over her shoulder. "We're going home," June said firmly. "No matter how hard it is, we're leaving this place." And with a crying child in her left arm and her weak boss leaning on her right, the maid began the long, painful walk out of the dump site, refusing to look back. June, the maid, moved slowly through the dump site, her feet sinking into soft piles of trash. Every step was hard, every breath felt heavy. But she never loosened her grip, not on little Lily, and not on the weak millionaire woman leaning on her shoulder. Lily cried softly, her tiny fingers holding June's uniform tightly. "Auntie June, is Mommy going to die?" Her voice was small, like a scared bird hiding from the rain. June stopped walking and gently touched the girl's cheek. "No, baby. Your mommy is strong. She's going to be okay. I promise." But inside, June was terrified. The woman's breathing was slow, too slow. Her skin felt cold. She was losing strength fast. The mother whispered, "June, please don't let her see me like this. She's just a baby. She's only 3. Her voice faded like a weak echo in the wind. June shook her head. "Ma'am, don't talk like that. You're not leaving your daughter. Not today. Not ever." But the woman closed her eyes, and June felt her body growing heavier. June panicked. "Ma'am, stay with me, please." She adjusted her hold, lifting the woman higher on her shoulder. The dump site seemed endless. The air smelled like smoke and rot. Dogs barked somewhere far away. Broken metal shined like sharp teeth in the sun. But June kept moving. After almost 20 minutes of slow walking, the edge of the dump site finally appeared, a rough road, and an old wooden shack where 2 scavengers usually sat. Today, only one was there. He saw them and jumped to his feet. "Hey, what happened?" he shouted, running forward. "Please," June begged, "help me carry her. She needs a hospital now." The man nodded quickly and took the woman's other arm. Together, they moved faster, almost running. Lily buried her face in June's neck, crying again. "Why did they hurt Mommy? Why did they put us here?" June kissed the girl's forehead. "I don't know, baby. But we will find the truth, and we will make sure they never hurt you again." The mother whispered weakly, "June, thank you." June squeezed her hand tightly. "Save your strength, ma'am. You're going to see your home again." And as they reached the road, June lifted her head and whispered to herself, "We survived the dump site. Now we fight for justice." The old scavenger waved down a passing motorcycle. The rider stopped quickly when he saw the millionaire woman nearly collapsing in their arms. June, carrying little Lily, climbed behind the rider while the scavenger helped lift the weak woman onto the seat between them. "Please hurry," June cried. "She can't breathe well." The motorcycle sped forward, bouncing over rough patches of road. Lily held onto June tightly, her little face wet with tears. "Auntie June, Mommy is sleeping again. Why is she sleeping so much?" June wiped the girl's face, gently. "She's tired, sweetheart, but she's fighting. Keep talking to her, okay?" The little girl stretched out her tiny hand and touched her mother's arm. "Mommy, I'm here. Don't leave me." But the woman didn't answer. Her head dropped forward. Her breathing slowed even more. June's heart exploded in fear. "Ma'am, stay awake," she shouted. "We're almost there. Please don't close your eyes." The millionaire woman tried to speak, but her voice was just a whisper. "June, if I don't make it, please, take care of Lily." "No," June cried loudly, not caring who heard her. "Don't you dare say that. Lily needs you. I need you. Stay with us." But the woman's body went very still, too still. Lily screamed, "Mommy, Mommy, please wake up. Mommy, no." June's own tears fell uncontrollably. She shook the woman gently. "Ma'am, please. Please don't leave your baby. Wake up." The motorcycle rider panicked. "She's not responding. Hold her up. We're almost at the clinic." June wrapped one arm around the woman's chest, keeping her upright, while holding Lily with the other. She felt the woman's heartbeat slowing, fading. "Please, God," June whispered shakily. "Don't take her. Not like this. Not in front of her child." When they reached the small clinic, nurses rushed outside. "Bring her in, quickly!" one of them shouted. They carried the woman inside, leaving June and Lily outside the door. Lily cried so hard her whole body trembled. June hugged her tightly, her uniform soaked with tears. From inside the clinic came the words June feared most. "Her pulse is dropping. Get the oxygen. Hurry, she's crashing." June closed her eyes, praying, shaking, holding the little girl who kept whispering, "Mommy, don't die, don't die." Hope was slipping away. But the story wasn't over. Not yet. June held little Lily tightly outside the clinic door. The nurses' voices were loud, urgent, and frightening. Every second felt like an hour. Lily cried until her tiny voice became weak and shaky. "Auntie June, is Mommy gone?" she whispered, her eyes red and swollen. June hugged her tighter. "No, baby. Not while she's still fighting. Not while we're here." Just then, the clinic door burst open. A nurse stepped out, breathing fast. "She's alive," the nurse said quickly. "But only because you brought her in on time. She was seconds away." June covered her mouth with her hand, crying with relief. Lily let out a small sob and buried her face in June's chest. "But," the nurse continued, "the police need to talk to you. This woman didn't just fall or get hurt by accident. Someone attacked her." June felt her stomach twist. "I know," she said quietly. "She told me someone wanted her money." Before the nurse could speak again, 2 police officers entered the hallway. Their faces were serious. "You're the maid?" one officer asked. "Yes," June replied. "My name is June. I found her. We need to know what happened," the officer said. June told them everything: the search, the dump site, the mother's weak whispers, what little Lily saw, and how they escaped. Inwise, as Suz. When she finished, the officers looked shocked. One officer knelt beside Lily gently. "Sweetheart, did you see the people who hurt your mommy?" Lily nodded slowly, wiping tears from her cheeks. "They had masks, but one man, he had a scar on his neck. Mommy called him Uncle Brian." June's heart stopped. Brian, the millionaire's own brother. The police officers exchanged looks immediately. "We've been searching for him," one said. "He's been stealing money from the company. We thought he ran away, but now we know he wanted to get rid of her." June felt anger boiling in her chest. How could he do that to his own sister? "We'll handle him," the officer said firmly. "But for now, stay with her. She needs you both." Just then, a nurse rushed out again. "She wants to see her daughter." She woke up and asked for Lily. June carried the little girl inside, and the moment Lily saw her mother awake, she let out a cry of relief that filled the whole room. But the danger wasn't over, because the man who tried to destroy them was still out there. The sun was dipping behind the skyline, painting the city in soft oranges and pinks. A gentle breeze carried the distant hum of traffic, but inside the modest alleyway where the Black Maid had finally tracked them down, time seemed to pause. There, huddled on a warm blanket, sat the little girl in her bright pink dress, clutching a small teddy bear. Beside her, the billionaire mother, pale, exhausted, but alive, looked up with wide, terrified eyes. The maid knelt carefully beside them, her voice steady but warm. "You're safe now," she whispered. The girl's eyes sparkled as she recognized the familiar kindness, and she ran into the maid's arms, giggling through tears. The billionaire's lips trembled, emotions warring, fear, relief, gratitude. I didn't think we'd be found," she stammered, voice cracking. The journey back to the mansion was quiet at first, the city lights reflecting off the car's polished surface. The maid held the little girl's hand tightly, while the mother stared out the window, absorbing the sight of a world she had feared lost forever. Once home, the doors swung open to reveal frantic staff and family members, their eyes wide with shock and then relief. Tears mingled freely as mother and daughter were enveloped in hugs. The billionaire turned to the maid, her voice choked with emotion. You saved us." The maid smiled gently, shaking her head. "I just did what anyone would, what I hoped was right." In that moment, the walls between social class, fear, and despair dissolved. Trust, courage, and love had reunited them. The mansion no longer felt cold or empty. It was alive, brimming with laughter, tears, and gratitude. That night, as the mother tucked her daughter into bed, she whispered softly, "Thank you for bringing us home." Outside the window, the city sparkled, and somewhere in the shadows, the quiet hero the maid watched with a heart full of satisfaction, knowing she had changed 2 lives forever.